Today, we are evaluating the claim that genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, are dangerous and can cause cancer. This claim is very common on social media, documentaries, advertisements, and influencer posts. Many people see phrases such as non-GMO, chemical-free, or all-natural and assume that GMO foods must automatically be harmful. The claim is persuasive because it appeals to fear about health, food safety, and corporations. It also uses emotional language and scientific sounding terms without always explaining the actual biology and science behind it. Before evaluating the claim, it's important to understand what a GMO actually is. A GMO is an organism whose DNA has been altered using biotechnology to give it a useful trait, such as resistance to insects, drought, or disease. Humans have actually modified crops for thousands of years through selective breeding. Genetic engineering is simply a more precise method of changing traits in plants.
To evaluate whether GMOs are dangerous, we looked at scientific evidence and AP biology concepts like genetics, DNA, gene expression, and experimental design. One major misconception is that GMO DNA is somehow harmful simply because it is modified. However, all food contains DNA. During digestion, DNA is broken down into smaller molecules regardless of whether food is organic, conventional, or genetically modified. Major scientific organizations, including the World Health Organization, the American Medical Association, and the National Academy of Scientists, have reviewed large amounts of research and concluded that approved GMO foods are as safe as non-GMO foods. One famous study from 2012 claimed GMO corn caused tumors in rats. This study spread rapidly online, became a major source of fear. However, scientists later criticized the experiment because the sample size was too small. The rat species naturally develops tumors frequently, and the study lacked proper controls. Because of these problems, the journal later redacted the paper due to unreliable evidence. This connects directly to AP biology concepts about experimental design, reproducibility, controls, and valid data analysis.
One major problem with pseudoscience is that it often confuses correlation with causation. For example, some people claim that because GMO use increased over time, while the cancer rates also change, GMOs must cause cancer. But just because two trends happen at the same time does not mean one caused the other. If GMOs truly caused cancer, scientists would expect to see a strong and reproducible evidence across large populations over many years. GMO foods have been widely consumed since the 1990s, especially in countries like the United States. Yet researchers have not found evidence linking GMO consumption to increased cancer rates. This topic also shows several signs of pseudoscience, where people cherry-pick evidence on one controversial study, they use fear-based language, ignore scientific consensus, misusing scientific terminology, and relying on emotional anecdotes instead of reproducible evidence. Some GMOs may actually provide benefits. For example, certain crops reduce the need for insecticides, and crops like golden rice were developed to help prevent vitamin A deficiency. Our conclusion is that skepticism is important in science, but conclusions should be based on peer-reviewed evidence and reproducible research, not viral misinformation or fear. Scientific literacy matters because it helps people evaluate claims critically, recognizing misleading information online, and making informed decisions based on evidence rather than emotion.